Hello, hello, this is Fake the Nation, where we talk about news, we talk about culture, and where we ask, do we have to talk about Sydney Sweeney? And I'm your host, Negin Farsad, and I'm here to tell you that yes, we do have to talk about Sydney Sweeney. We have to be on top of the cultural chatter, no matter how dumb it might be. So, we'll get into that. We'll also talk about a French beach town that's asking you to keep your clothes on. Plus, everything is bigger in Texas, including their gerrymandering. We'll vent on Israel and Gaza. We'll have a ridiculous conversation about Democratic presidential hopefuls. And finally, we ask, are we a nation of homebodies? Oh my God, I'm so excited by today's panel. You guys. I've known this man for so long. We've been on the comedy scene together. Watching him perform live is such an absolute pleasure. He also has a new podcast out. It's called Harry Has ADHD, thusly titled because he is the excellent Harry Terjanian. Hey, Harry.
Hey, Negin. Thank you so much for having me back. I love seeing you. We've been doing this, I think, almost 20 years, which seems crazy.
Yeah, we're on the same timeline.
Because guess what? Neither of us have aged. I'm going to tell you that right now. We both look pretty good. I've seen some of the people we started out with. We both I don't know about you. I moisturize. Just saying.
I moisturize. I'm also Middle Eastern. You know, you also have that ethnic in
I got that
you.
Armenian, half Armenian, half Ecuadorian.
There we go. We are also joined by, oh my God, I love this guy so much. He's a comedian. He writes for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution because he's fancy. He's currently touring right now, so you can actually see him perform live, which I highly recommend that you do. He is a Fake the Nation favorite. It is the wonderful Corey Ryan Forrester. Hey, Corey.
Hello, love. How are you? And I, too, would like to point out that even I look better than I did 20 years ago when I started doing comedy. We're all aging well. And,
nice.
And I do moisturize. I think I'm the only person below the Mason-Dixon with a penis and moisturizing cream at my house, but I have both, and I'm a fan of them.
I mean, the accent, the moisturizer, and the political opinions in one package? Come
How
on.
Has someone not shot me yet?
Ladies, he's taken. All right. Let's, before we get into the show, I just want to remind listeners that you can go to patreon.com/Negin Farsad to support the show for as little as $4 a month. You get bonus episodes of the show, which is just the show, but more of it, which I believe is what everybody wants out of one of their favorite podcasts. I say hopingly. Hopingly, also a word. And also for as little as $1 a month, you get nothing in return but the knowledge that you're helping your podcast that you like. So go to patreon.com/Negin Farsad. And now let's get into it with topic number one. You guys, it's the peak of summer. Tourists are everywhere, including the French seaside town of Les Sables d'Olonne, which has asked tourists to show a little restraint and stop wearing swimwear when they're walking around town and not at the beach. I don't know. Corey, what do you think of this request?
Look, as someone who fought 2 tours in the Free the Titty War, I'm not about to change my perspective on that now. Like, I understand certain people's viewpoints on it. Like, you hear older people being like, man, it's a disgrace when you go to the airport now, people are wearing pajamas. People used to wear suits. And like, there's a part of me that has a nostalgia for a time that I never lived in where it would be cool to see Sinatra types walking around. But we don't live in that world anymore. And with everything that's happening, we're always on the brink of seemingly nuclear disaster or countries imploding or us going to World War III. I say any chance you can get to see a nice fat ass walking past you by the Baguette market, you got to take that chance and you got to pray to God that you had it. You know what I mean?
Baguette market, ladies and gentlemen, which, by the way, is called a boulangerie, for the record. Okay.
I'm just saying, as the Lord said in the Bible and Ulysses Everett McGill said in the movie Oh Brother Where Art Thou, consider the lilies of the goddamn field and have a good day, All
right. Okay. Biblical quotes from our friend Corey Ryan Forrester. Harry, do you have as strong a position?
Well, I'll tell you this. First of all, listen, I agree with Corey's stance on freedom and nudity and combining the two, always important, and also throwing in baguettes, who can be angry at that. I will say I find it curious that it's not a town ordinance, it's only for tourists, which makes me wonder if it's either one of two things. It's either the behavior of tourists who assume that they can walk around a beach town, which we've all kind of seen when people walk around. We've all done comedy in beach towns, and so we come and go. when you're in a beach town, it is a little weird how much nudity is acceptable because it's a bikini. I mean, you're at the Chipotle and there's just women in bikinis. And I'm not complaining, but it is a little odd that if it wasn't a beach town, this would be nuts. But people lose their mind for some reason.
Okay, I have to say that I was at Coney Island on Saturday, not to brag. And my daughter really loves Coney Island for the rides. I love going to the beach. My husband is willing to get motion sickness on rides with her. We make it happen.
All right.
And I went from the beach to meet them to eat like burgers or whatever. And I kept my, I just had on, was wearing shorts, but like I didn't put my top on quite yet. I was like holding it. But by the second I got onto the boardwalk, which was like actual ground, I felt naked and crazy and I put my shirt on.
Isn't it wild?
This is a land of dirtbags. This is Coney Island. Like there might be elites at Coney Island, but no one is behaving that way. Everyone is
no one is shunning you for wearing a bikini top or
No,
whatever.
I could have easily, I wasn't walking into a library and I was walking to the burger stand. And so I felt really weird and I put my shirt on and then I was like, okay, this is fine.
There were several people urinating in the trash cans. But you're like, I got to cover up. I don't want to.
The decorum, I know.
Yeah. But the other thing I wonder is it because just they don't like the people walking around, or is it because tourists, maybe Americans, come in there and they don't have the best bodies? Is it a bodies thing? Is it like, hey, cover up? Yeah.
Right. Okay, but here's the data on that.
Okay.
Most of the tourists à Les Salles are French. By the way, the people who take the most fucking vacation. So it's not Americans. That's what's funny about this. It's French on French violence. That's right.
You don't hear about French on French violence enough, in my opinion.
And that's what Fake the Nation is here to.
It only happens for all of you. Sorry, it only happens once every 1,000 years. But when it does, I mean, it's spectacular.
Yeah, not since the Revolution in 1788. All right.
Start thinking about Gerard Depardieu fighting Pepe Le Pew like that's the only two French people I know, just beating the shit out of each other.
Didn't Gerard get isn't he in bad? Didn't he turn out to be not so awesome?
I don't remember.
Big time. Like, dude, this guy, he's been accused of sexual assault and harassment in France. Like, do you know how hard you got to go to get Me Too'd in fucking France? Like, pretty hard, dog.
It's a lot.
And he famously, I don't know if you've seen him lately, but he's got that W.C. Fields rhombus nose that he has earned by drinking 18 bottles of French wine a day and just grabbing, I guess, bikini-clad women's asses down by the beach. But he's not a good man.
As someone who's lived in France, and I let no one forget it, I will say that I did feel gender disparities there stronger than I did in the United States. So I do feel that that's rather accurate. All right, let's move on and talk about another thing with ladies. And this one is in particular, Sydney Sweeney is all over the culture news. She did an ad for American Eagle, and one of the ads she said, genes are passed down from parents to offspring. And another one, she says, my body's composition is determined by my genes. And obviously, we're looking at a genes and genes pun. There was backlash from some saying that this was a little eugenicsy. The White House weighed in and said that the controversy was cancel culture run amok. And, of course, JD Vance had to jump in by saying the lesson Democrats, quote, have apparently taken is we're going to attack people as Nazis for thinking Sydney Sweeney is beautiful. Harry, what do you think of this controversy?
Well, I will say I only know Sydney Sweeney as a sexual figure in the sense that I've never watched anything she's been in, so I don't know even if she can act. I've just not.
You didn't see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Oh, what was she in that? What did she do?
She plays one of the Manson girls. Her and every it girl currently today was one of the Manson girls. You just didn't know it at the time, and neither did I.
I didn't. Thank you for informing me that.
Also, she was in a season of White Lotus. I don't know if you're a White Lotus.
I never saw White Lotus.
Okay.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm behind. But my point is her brand seems to be sexuality, which I'm okay with. I mean, if she's okay with it, I'm okay with it. I mean, she's selling, she's certainly embracing it. She's selling she's selling soap made out of her bath water. And I will say, that's fine. My bathwater soap has not sold as well. I'm upset about that. I was talked into it by my management. I feel like we've got pallets of the stuff. It's not doing well. I will say, her body, her choice. It's fine. I do think this is one of those things where we're sometimes reaching a little bit on the left, and it is one of those things that loses people. There's a lot of bigger problems going on. It's a play on words. It's a pun. I don't think any marketing firm goes, what's going to move these genes is alluding to white supremacy. I feel like that's what we've been missing in the advertising space.
Wait, can I just say, I actually think that there is no actual complaint on the left. I mean, maybe there's like a handful of idiots, but it feels trumped up, not to use that fucking word, but it feels like a made up controversy. Like 4 people said a tweet about it, and then they blew it up into like all of the left thinks that this is, a nod to white supremacy. And it's just like that. I don't know a single person on the left. And by the way, I know very many people on the left. So I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
No, I mean, I feel the exact same way. Like, when I hear anything about this story, I'm taken back to my favorite Norm Macdonald from Weekend Update quote, which is, "This may sound controversial, but I think that everyone involved in this story should be killed." Everyone. I do think that, there were maybe 4 people on the left who complained about it on Twitter, but these weren't like popular people. These weren't anybody that moves the needle. And so you're able to take one dumbass, which anyone that thinks there's not a bunch of dumbasses on the left has never been on Twitter or been to a party at my house. There are plenty. And if you take the people that don't matter's opinions as if they are the barometer for the actual party, then you can basically do that with everything. And I've always said, Republicans make up a Democrat in their head to be mad at. I just get mad at the one on TV that says the actual things. You know what I mean? But it's stupid. No. And also I think that if it hadn't come out that Sydney Sweeney was a registered Republican, if she wasn't this blonde bombshell, poster child for Hooters or whatever, nobody would give a shit. It all just kind of happened to fall into place. And I'm personally bummed with a decent amount of people I see on the left that are shooting Sydney Sweeney down all she is big boobs and a body, and she's the complete antithesis of feminism. And I'm bro, I think that there's room for everybody in feminism. Feminism means if you want to be a lawyer, you can, but if you want to just make money on them big ass milk knockers, you're allowed to do that fucking too. Your body, your goddamn choice. I also come from the old school of I don't give a fuck what any of these actors think about anything. Just, go act, and I'll either like your shit or I won't. And it's a bummer that, my last point is, it's a bummer that the right has somehow, after years of trying to shame the female body, and after years of trying to claim that the left overly sexualized everything, has somehow come at the fucking last hour and reclaimed sluttiness. I hate it. That's our thing. Fuck you. You can't do it.
I know. And by the way, in the years when we owned sluttiness, I put in some good time being a slut. Yeah. And I want to get my credit for that.
You want your ROI on the
fucking exactly. Let me close by asking you this, Harry.
Sure.
Is it possible, third possibility, that they knew that 2 idiots online would say, oh, this is a nod to white supremacy or whatever, and they were like, that could lead to a conversation? Because guess what? American Eagle, a forgotten mall brand.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Who, to me, I don't know, if they've suddenly become whatever. they did get Sydney Sweeney, but a forgotten mall brand their stock has gone up by $2, which to me seems like, oh, maybe, this controversy is good for them. The cultural conversation is good for them, no matter what the direction of the conversation. So, Harry, is that a possibility?
I would say it's not, because you got to remember, people who own stocks or who live by the stock market, or have to deal with investors, the last thing they want is controversy. It's not creative. I think they were just doing a play on words, because it's hard to go, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to allude, somebody on the left will say something about white supremacy, it's too far convoluted. I just think it's a happy coincidence for them that it does increase their stock, which it just shows you what. I mean, no press is bad press, you know. I mean,
Right.
even this Sydney Sweeney SS situation, they're like, all right, hey, this is our time to shine now. This is our
Yeah.
moment. But I don't think they
Let's
did it on
capitalize.
purpose. I think they were just going for a play on words, good genes.
Which, by the way, I do
yeah.
want to say, lazy writing. I mean, there's better. I mean, it's like I remember making that pun like in middle school. All right, folks, let us move on. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, politics. And we are back, and we're ready for topic number 2. Republicans want to eke out more GOP seats out of Texas for fear of losing the midterm elections. This is unusual because it's usually around census data as at the top of a decade, not in the middle of census dates that you do this. In response, Texas Democrats have fled the state to prevent the vote from happening. Governor Abbott is issuing fines of $500 a day for the fleeing Democrats. Fun fact, if you're in the Texas state legislature, you're only earning $600 a month. It is a part-time gig. And the other thing that Abbott is making impossible is that they cannot fundraise the money because he'll go after them for that too. So they're doing this at great personal cost. What do you think about all these shenanigans, Corey? I mean, from the initial attempt at gerrymandering and the Democratic response.
I mean, gerrymandering, like I live in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district in Georgia, right? And if you look at that district, it's the most jagged, most insane looking thing in the world. And like when I was a kid, I didn't understand how any of that worked. And then I found out about gerrymandering and how you can rig the system to blah, blah, blah. And like, obviously, I think it's disgusting. Like, I don't think anything should work that way. I don't believe that in politics you should be able to, I don't know, front load something that much. But then on the notion of like, I appreciate that the Democrats were like, we're leaving so that this doesn't happen. You know, I respect the boycott like that. Every single thing about the way that Texas is handling it, from like trying to arrest these people, is insanely like on the nose fascist. Like, it's crazy. But then on the other hand, a lot of the Democrats, and maybe you brought this up or maybe you're about to, were talking about like, well, we should just do that too. Like, if this is the game they're playing, we should just do that too. And the competitive part of me has always been like, yeah, I mean, look, if you can't beat them, join them. Sure, anything to win. But then on the other hand, I'm like, so many people in this country already fall to the side of like both sides are the same, they're both evil. And when you start doing things like this, you're giving them more ammo. And like, no, you shouldn't do something that's wrong just because everybody else is doing. That's how we stay better than people. But also, I hope we all die.
All right. Well, one thing I will clarify is that, yes, a lot of Democratic governors are talking about responding in kind. So Gavin Newsom is looking at ways to be able to redraw the maps through like a special election for what do you call that? Like a referendum situation in California that would allow them to take the next 3 elections, take the nonpartisan mandated lines away and then have them be horribly gerrymandered, and so for 3 elections, and then have the good guy laws come back like after 3 elections. Something like that is going on with California. JB Pritzker is talking about trying to do it in his state, in Illinois, in Maryland. They're looking at trying to add one. Now, the fun and ridiculous thing is, in a lot of these places, Democrats were like, let's have this be a nonpartisan, independent commission that draws the lines. They shouldn't be gerrymandered. So there's like, it's funny because the Democrats were like, no, let's do the right thing. But they decided to do the right thing like whenever that was, years ago. And now here we are where, you know, Texas Republicans are like, oh no, we're like not doing the right thing. Also, Texas has already severely gerrymandered their state. I mean, there's about 50% in something, let's say 52 or whatever, 3%. I can't remember the exact number. It's in the 50s that are Republican voting in Texas, but they have 70% of the seats. So I'm so sorry. I should have written down those numbers, but it's something like that.
That's right.
Point is not cool. Everyone should kill themselves involved in this story. But that's what's happening. Do you think, Harry, that Democrats should respond with this kind of like tit for tat? Let's take back our ethics for a little bit.
Well, they never do. They should, but they never do. I mean, this is not a new thing. Gerrymandering has been going on for decades at this point.
On both sides.
Yeah, but it's really, I mean, more often than not, it's a conservative thing. You know, I feel like, anyway, I don't know. I might not have the numbers on that, but it feels like it's always a situation where something doesn't work, conservatives start to gerrymander. And Democrats never return intact, you know, in the same way. And it's always like, what's the point of having the power if you never kind of use it? I guess I get that you don't want fascism, but at this point, sometimes you have to play dirty to achieve a good goal, you know. And fortunately, this is what happens. And Abbott is just going wild. I think he's an insane man. And in the wheelchair, he looks a little like Dr. Strangelove now with the mentality that he has. You know, what he's done is it's just full on fascism. He's arresting people, having people, fining people, which I don't even know if he can legally do any of these things, but it's all new territory. It's like, I think nothing is off the table. Let's ride it till the wheels fall off, because at this point we have no choice.
Corey?
I mean, look, I had just said, no, I don't think we need to do that. But then Harry came in, and I kind of agree with what he's saying, like, because it does seem like every time Democrats are in power, they don't do anything that's going to help their position. And, like, if this is already the thing that's happening, I don't know how, like, at a certain point, there's no amount of finger wagging and, hey, guys, this isn't right, that's actually going to do anything. So, yeah, I can sit here in my little bubble and go, yeah, but we're righteous. But, like, that doesn't matter if the other side is doing these things that are encroaching on people's freedom. So, fucking, I don't know, guillotine. You know, I don't think there should even be, listen, I don't even think there should be districts and shit. Here's what I think. We don't even need a president. We all have cell phones, right? We all have cell phones, and this method is tried and true since I think 2001 or 2002 was when American Idol debuted, right? Anytime there's a new law or a new thing that they need the Americans' opinions on, text it to us, we'll text it back, and then that goes, and now we don't have to have any Marjorie Taylor Greens, and it's a true democracy where there's the will of the people, and we can just, instead of having a president, we can just have our favorite actor go read the new laws that we have, like have Anthony Hopkins once a month just go up there and monologue, these are the new things, and he's the president for the month, he's in a residency, and then it's over. And it's it can't be worse than what we're doing.
I love how it's like literally the same style of, it's like the same kind of residency as you would get at the Kennedy Center.
Absolutely.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Why not?
Well, here's my, like, again, third option, which is, okay, now in the situation that we're in right now, the third option, I don't know if anyone's already doing this, but I've always felt like if you look back at like what Lyndon Johnson did in the 60s, the dude was on the phone all the time.
Killed the president? Is that what you mean?
Oh boy, Corey. Different podcast.
Jesus
Different
Christ.
podcast. I mean, we go 4 hours on that, but
I know. By the way, someone get me in the Manosphere podcast. I think I should try and infiltrate.
There you go.
So in Lyndon Johnson, one of the things he was really known for was like getting on the horn and trying to do back channel discussions with other politicians to try and get shit done. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. What do you want? And this is how a lot of stuff was done, and Lyndon Johnson's really known for this. And I think that like the idea of the kind of back channeling and stuff is how, by the way, a lot of politics happens, right? A lot of these conversations should happen quietly behind closed doors where people are saying stuff. Now, I feel like Governor Abbott and Gavin Newsom should have a chat, and no one should know about it, where it's like, look, dude, I heard you want to do this thing. Just letting you know, if you do the thing, we'll do the thing. And that's stupid, because that just means we both did a thing to counteract each person's thing, and it's a wash. So why don't you not do the thing? And then we won't do the thing, and we'll all just go. Your state is already fully gerrymandered to support Republicans. You've already won that part. Let's just don't go overboard. I feel like these governors should just have that chat and like don't tell anybody. And then at the end, Abbott can come out and be like, I feel confident in our performance as Republicans, and with the current map, we will win. And she could just say some shit like that at the end and kind of come out looking like a good guy.
Well,
More
Negin, I feel
backroom
like
dealings.
Yeah, I feel like you have too much faith in people and humanity now. I feel like what happens now is the politicians we do have in power are unhinged individuals. I think back then, when Lyndon Johnson was around, there was a level of shame that you didn't want to be associated with in public.
Yeah.
That's gone, which is why back channel deals worked. Like, what could you possibly say to, Governor Greg Abbott that you would shame him for, or what is at stake for him to make a deal?
Well, there has to be something he needs. Water? I don't know. Some from another state? I don't know. There's stuff that Texas needs. I don't know. There's again, what are the things? Work it out, guys. Politique.
Yeah,
what is the fucking point of politiquing if you can't politique?
Yeah, I feel like back in Lyndon B. Johnson's day, the only way for those politicians to gain popularity and power was within the things that they achieved in the world of politics, and now that's not the case. All these politicians just want their sound bites for Twitter so that when they either get voted out or retire, they can have a podcast. They don't actually have to achieve anything anymore.
Right.
Now that there's Twitter, and now that cult of personality is driving everything, not that it wasn't a little bit back in the day, but you no longer have to have anything that on paper you achieve. You just have to say the right thing that 52% of your state or district believe in, and you're good. That's it. So it's fun.
I mean, this is what I think. Again, can we somehow popularize getting fucking train lines built and I don't know, water distribution worked out and all infrastructure preserved and built and maintained? I mean, these are the things. It's like somehow an influencer needs to go out there and make those infrastructure popular again or whatever, so that politicians can go back to that.
Yeah, but as long as you've got the lobbyists from GM lining everybody's pockets on both sides, you ain't gonna get trains. I mean, that's it. It sucks, but we gotta kill people. I keep saying it, but so many people need to die.
So your plan, Corey, is the Hunger Games, is what you're saying. You're suggesting.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
That's exactly what he's
Fair
suggesting.
And I'm 50 pounds overweight, so I could survive 6-7 months without shit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I'd be fine.
my God.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to another subject, which is also really upsetting. The Israel-Gaza conflict now. Okay, I get that, nobody wants to talk about this because it's really upsetting. I don't know if you guys are like me. I, really can't look at the imagery of children starving. But I guess, I'm sorry, I'm losing my ability to talk. But Corey, can you tell us how you're feeling about the conflict these days as there is a famine taking hold in Gaza?
Yeah, I mean, I feel look, all right, I'm a white dude with this accent, so almost any position I take is going to sound wild at first. But because I have that perspective on it, I come from a place where people are both anti-Semitic and also proudly fans of Israel. So it's a very wild dichotomy.
So yeah.
And it's because of the church, and it's because in the Bible, apparently the Bible predicted that in 1948, a piece of land in the Middle East would be called Israel. I don't know how the fuck the Bible did that, but they did it. So I don't think, it's impossible for me to comprehend that you could look at the images and that you could see what's happening, and not stuff that Netanyahu is saying is happening. You could look at that and go, this is God's will. This is God's will, and this is Christian, and we have to support these people. It's insane. That being said, I don't think that, like, I see the other side of that, which is there's so many people that go, every single Jew is a Zionist and is awful, and I'm seeing that, and I'm like, guys, can we not meet in the middle here and say that anti-Semitism is bad and also genocide is bad? And that, to me, seeing a country filled with politicians talking about we can't help Zelensky at all, but please let's put every single dollar that could be going to help children eat at school into Israel doing some fuck shit that they've always done. It don't sit right with me. I don't like it. And again, I feel like no matter what I say, I'm going to get hate on it, but that's how I feel. It's fucked up. It sucks. And there's no justification for it. And using the Bible as justification for anything boils my fucking skin.
And just to be clear, one of the accusations that's being lobbed against Israel is that they're denying these, the aid coming into Gaza. So that's how they're sort of engineering the famine. Netanyahu says, oh, no, that's Hamas, like stealing the food or whatever, which does not appear to be true at all. So there you go. Harry, where are you at?
Well, the Israel-Palestine thing, it's a topic nobody wants to talk about. It's great for clearing out a party when you want everyone to go home, so that's fun.
Yes.
The way I feel about it at this point, it's been going on, for all of our lives and the lives of people before, it's been going on forever. And so I'm like a parent at this point where I'm like, I don't care who started it. We need to stop it. It's got to come to an end. So it doesn't matter who says who started this and that. And unfortunately, the thing is, I think for a lot of people is there's a level of not having a lot of control. You're dealing with Netanyahu and his insanity and, his government doing things like, firing people who are trying to do anything to limit his power or ability. And then on the other hand, with Palestinians and the Hamas-controlled government, which this generation didn't vote for. They weren't even around when all that went down. And so it's a chaotic situation. There's no answer for it, and there's just no humanity because people are, people have lost. Images don't have the impact. Seeing the famine, seeing people's children starve, seeing dead children, it doesn't have the impact that it used to on people apparently. And I don't know how you get that back. I don't know where that went. Is it just politics? Is it just I don't know where that went. We're in a first world country. Our lives for the most part are pretty good, and yet we can't look at those images and have.
Well, if it's not in your algorithm, you're not going to get the images. If it's
that's true.
And also, like, the news really allows you to kind of self-select. So it used to be that it's just like it would be the front page of a newspaper, and then everyone would sort of see that newspaper, and that is not where we're at anymore. Like, the news is so dispersed.
We've also got a sitting president who 8 years ago made a huge tenet of his campaign, the fact that all news was fake and everything was manufactured. And now you couple that with the fact that AI is more prevalent than ever. And some people can just have the cognitive dissonance of just going, I bet that's not real, and move on with their fucking life. But also, we probably are desensitized a little bit because goddamn, when I was in 8th grade, I saw a dude squat over a glass bottle and shatter it into his asshole. Like, we've been seeing some fucked up shit for a while.
I remember that video.
Yeah, it was rough, wasn't it?
It was. But you get one horrifying video a year that you passed around.
Yeah.
And, it made you think. It made you think.
Yeah.
And now there's so many horrific ones. You're right. People get to pick and choose what they want. So they're never able to. I guess back in the day, you're right. We had Walter Cronkite. Everyone trusted him. And so whatever he said went. And now you just don't have that, and people can pick and choose what.
That said,
what
a majority of Americans are against this war, and a majority of Americans are also not in line with giving Israel unrestricted funds. And I think my particular position, just to wrap this up, is I believe you can criticize the government of Israel without being anti-Semitic. And I believe governments have a moral obligation, and as signatories to the Geneva Convention, they have a legal obligation to allow humanitarian aid to civilians. And because Israel has engineered a famine for the people of Gaza by restricting that aid, it has violated a moral code and it has violated an international treaty. And to me, that seems pretty clear. And also now, more and more people are coming out against it. Even, Jeremy Ben-Ami of J Street, he's the president of J Street in D.C., is all, saying, I'm not going to use the word genocide myself, but I understand basically why people do. And so, it's like they're really, really, really losing their moral position on this one. and it's not. It's been a while.
It's hard not to, but it's weird that it takes so long. And also, J Street is. I've never been down J Street. I hope it's very different than Sesame Street, I would assume. But, hopefully people just get with it and stop, stop trying to ignore it. Because I think a lot of it is just ignoring things that aren't happening to you in your world. And meanwhile, people are just dying,
Yeah. All right, let us move on and quickly talk about presidential hopefuls. And this conversation was inspired because Kamala Harris decided she's not running for governor of California, saying that basically she has no desire to re-enter, quote, the system of American politics because, quote, it's broken. Corey, were you surprised that Kamala Harris is out?
No. I mean, I think if I had to spend any time campaigning against Donald Trump only to walk away the loser, I would never want to enter that system again. Like, I would be so fucking defeated. Like, I would have no faith in, which, I mean, I don't know. The fact that Kamala Harris would take her till now to be like, I think there's something wrong with the system is hilarious, but like, yeah, there's no way I would believe in anything at all. I mean, she got fucking dog walked by a goddamn carny. Like, yeah, maybe you have to sit it out. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, I think things would be better with her in charge. I think there'd be some things that would probably be pretty similar. We will never know. But yeah, I don't think it'd be a good thing if she ran. I mean, I don't know how it would go in California with her being governor, but like, I don't know how anybody would expect it to go any different if she ran for president again, especially against probably JD Vance, who has all of Trump's ideas but polishes them way better and is young and is a darling of the even younger conservatives. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Harry,
I find that she ran this campaign. She got her ass handed to her. I think she's done with politics. I don't know what else you can do. And part of it's not her fault for sure. I mean, it just showed us that America doesn't want to vote for a woman. They didn't want to vote for Hillary. It was, a white woman. So
well, at least the electoral college vote didn't want to vote for Hillary,
without a doubt.
But the popular vote did.
Yes, but it should have been a lot bigger a gap. It shouldn't have been that close to begin with the level of insanity of what Trump was, is my point. I'm saying, I would rather have seen Hillary be president or Kamala be president. I'm just saying America in general clearly is just, they're sexist, right? And so that's a rough situation to put her back out there. And she, in politics now, back in the day, people would run 3, 4, 5 times.
Right.
And it didn't.
Joe Biden. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, but now it's your damaged goods, right? And I don't see where she can get back in it. And I think also people on the left aren't.
She did it really well. I mean, she campaigned. I mean, she made some mistakes. Obviously, everybody does. But in general, she was like pretty unflappable. I mean, I thought she like kept her cool and kept her charm pretty well throughout those months. And she was dealt an incredibly crazy and historic hand, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like, none of that was her fault.
And I also think, I don't know if you guys have been in this situation, you probably have, where you have a gig in comedy. It's like you should kind of love the gig because every gig in comedy is improbable, right? It's so hard for us to like keep fucking working in this job, right? And then you get to a point with the gig where you're like, oh, I don't want to fucking do it. Yeah. And I was just thinking, like, oh my God, did she just have that enlightenment of like, even though she should really want it and she blah, 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 and she got to the point where she can have this and that and whatever. She's just like, I don't like it. It's not fucking fun. You know what I mean? I can picture her just having that as a human being.
That level of scrutiny has got to be rough. I mean,
miserable.
You could, I don't know, I forget for a second. I think the Kansas City Chiefs lost the Super Bowl last year, right? I guess the Eagles beat them. I forget. But nobody forgot that Kamala Harris lost the election. You know what I mean? It's going to be, that's
so Corey,
her. Why would you want to go back into that? Why?
Go
Who
ahead. Do you think is gonna run for president? Assuming, I mean, she just said I'm not running for California governor. I doubt that she's gonna run for president. But like, besides Kamala, who would run for governor?
Man, I mean, like in California, president, yeah. I mean,
president, yeah.
Obviously, right now, if I had to like put a bet on it, and just let everybody know, what I'm about to say does not mean this is who I hope, But I think it's pretty clear that like Newsom's making a run, and. Yeah. For if you look at the whole of American politics since we've been a thing, he is like a poster child for it. He's a white man who looks good. He's sharply dressed. He's well-spoken, all of those things. I don't think right now, if it happened tomorrow, I don't think anybody beats JD Vance. And that sucks.
Wow, really? That guy?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Everybody was saying, really, that guy about Trump? Okay, so like that's out of the window now. Like I don't hear any. I'm saying if it happened right now. Now, Trump is losing a lot of faith in people with the Epstein thing. So like let it play out, and maybe that's different. But I think that all of the things that they are starting to dislike about Trump, JD Vance will do a really good job of distancing himself from. He's younger. He's very manipulative. I mean, JD Vance is a guy who I've been to dinner with several times.
What?
Wow. Like he used to come to my shows, bruh. Like
what?
before he made the flip. Like I've been to several mall restaurants with JD having beers when he was saying fuck Trump. When he was saying, I swear to God, when he was just like we were cheersing over fuck Trump, never Trump, all this stuff, and then he flips on a dime. So I'm saying I can tell you firsthand how manipulative and wild this sumbitch is. He's not a dummy. And again, I'm saying if this happened right now, I don't think, and everybody can call me crazy, but I predicted Trump was going to win, and everybody's like, you're a lunatic, and I'm like, y'all don't go out and actually talk to people like I do. I'm not saying it's right. I'm telling you what's going on.
It's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, and now
okay, can I ask you, did you,
so many questions about JD Vance.
I know, so many fucking questions. Beneath his eyelinered eyes, could you see the glint of turn?
Nope, I was bought in. He was the nicest guy. We had a great time. His wife was lovely. We took pictures after the show. He recited our jokes back to us. We talked a lot on the internet too because we both had a book out at the same time. Mm-hmm. And when he made the flip, I was as surprised as any human being could be because I was completely bought in. Like I thought he was a great man. We had a lot of the same ideas. He was funny. He was charming. He was down to earth. Like I didn't.
At that time, was he just like a moderate Republican or was he a Democrat even? I don't know at that time.
He had a lot of progressive views, but I would say that he was probably an old school like Bob Dole Republican, maybe.
Got it.
But he was unabashedly fuck Trump. This guy's a fascist. He's going to ruin our country. And then he ran when he started running. When he ran in Ohio or whatever, he was running Republican, and that didn't really turn me off because I was like, you know what, good. Like I've met this guy. If he's going to bring some common sense and decency back to the Republican Party, or like he knows that's the only way he can win, I was like, great. And then very quickly afterwards, I was like, oh, this dude's bought and paid for. Holy shit, this is not the same. And I was like, this is either not the same guy or it's the same guy, and I was fooled. And I'm willing to admit that I could get fooled. You know what I mean? Like, dude, one time we was in California and my buddies were daring me to like go up to the Scientology building. And I was like, bro, they've taken better men than me. I can get got real good. You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm not a genius. This is like a great defense of the existence of like face masks or like in Face Off where they would take off the whole face. Like now this feels like he's just it is a clone or Manchurian candidate.
I'm into that conspiracy theory. Harry, you had a question about JD?
Well, I just want to know, Corey, you seem like this is our first time meeting, and I already love the dude. He's fantastic.
I love you too, Harry.
Quick question. Do you think that you're a little biased because you're hoping that he does end up being president, so now you've taken pictures with the president that you can say, I have a picture with the sitting U.S. president?
I'm fine
Maybe
with it just-
subconsciously.
Maybe there's a part of it. I mean, I'm fine with it just being vice president because I mean, Al Gore's my boy too. He's been to several shows,
All
and
right.
he actually catered a short film that me and my buddies did. He sent us ribs from Memphis. So that's a cool. I mean, look, I mean, yeah, as like table conversation. Hey guys, the president of the United States came to my show. That'd be neat, but I would rather my son have a future. I think. And so,
You people with kids always thinking about the future.
Can
And
I
if there's
say-
going to be a world.
My equivalent stories are, I mean, with Hillary Clinton, and the boring truth about Hillary Clinton is that she is exactly as smart and competent as everybody thinks she is. Like,
Hey,
she's
Al
just
Gore.
a nice, funny, smart, competent, warm lady, and that's all. And then she kind of like, and that wasn't always her reputation or whatever, but when she was senator of New York, people, I think, felt of her more that way. When the national spotlight came on during the presidential races, people thought she was more robotic or whatever, but she's actually like quite just like a nice lady. There's like nothing that surprising I
Dude.
could say about her.
Let me tell you something. By hanging out with Al Gore several times, I can confidently tell you that if he had been his actual self, which is an insanely
Funny.
charming, insanely funny,
Yeah.
charismatic,
Yes.
we would have never had Bush if he'd have just been that. If he'd have just been that, he would have won in a landslide because he's so awesome to be around. And I don't like hanging out with politicians for the most part. Like even ones that like I voted for and support. Like I just they're all a little fake. You have to be. But Gore, man, fucking like he's like the Fonz. He's like
He's
leather
really
jacket,
funny.
just cool dude.
Yeah, I hung out with him once at like a museum. Anyway, randomly, but he's a good time.
Man, I've never
Guys,
hung out with any
Harry,
politicians.
have you? I know. I'm sorry, Harry. Can you go ahead and name drop some like major
I
politicians?
mean, who have I mean, the closest I think is I've been with some commissioners in professional wrestling. You know, I guess
Right.
I met Jonathan Coachman once. He was a general manager of Raw for a
Okay.
minute.
Hey, I taught.
Does he run the education department yet or whatever? Like with
No,
those qualifications?
not
Isn't
yet.
there a wrestling person that runs an agency?
That would be Linda McMahon, who is
Linda
the,
McMahon.
Who can't
now
even
the
spell.
Secretary of Education, I think. Is that what it is?
Y'all don't even know my best
Yeah.
one. I taught Attorney General Eric Holder about anal kegels. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, boy.
Wow.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, teaching politicians about anal kegels
Yep.
is really, I feel like where Fake the Nation shines.
Just in case anybody thought that I wasn't like this all the time, I am. There's no different me.
All right, folks, there is no topic number 3 today because we talked too much about JD Vance and anal kegels. So I want to thank these fine gentlemen for joining the show, and I want to know where our audience can find you. Harry, where do they find you?
When I'm not doing anal kegels, you can check out my new podcast, Harry Has ADHD. That's available on YouTube, and I stream on all other platforms. But the episodes are always up on YouTube. At Harry Terjanian is all my social media. So just look up Harry Terjanian or Harry Has ADHD. And I also do another podcast with my friend Dante Nero about relationship advice called Man School 202 about making better men out there.
Hey, ooh, I like that. I didn't know about that pod. All right.
Yeah.
Subscribe. All right. Corey Ryan Forrester, where do people find you?
CoreyRyanForrester.com has all my stuff, my tour dates, my 2 podcasts, the Well Read podcast and Putting on Airs. And also it has a link to my Hero, which is like a Patreon, but it's European, where I do another podcast called Public Domain Sleepy Time Theater, where I read you a bedtime story in my softest, most sexy southern dulcet tone.
tones.
This season, I'm reading The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, and no, I don't say the word. I don't think that's what anybody wants to hear from me or while they're trying to sleep. But that's what I'm doing, and read me in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and be kind to each other.
Oh my God. Follow all of those things. You will not be disappointed. And as for me, you know where to find me everywhere. I'm going to be doing Wait, Don't Tell Me in Chicago on Thursday if you happen to hear the pod in time for the live show. Otherwise, you can read my latest column in The Progressive magazine. My column, Hemming and Hawing, always has some hemming and hawing from me. Otherwise, I want to thank everyone who makes the show a possibility. That's our wonderful producer, Rob Heath. Thanks so much to Gaby Alter for our sound, our music, our title music. What? Yes. And you can reach us at fakethenationpodcast@gmail.com if you have any ideas or questions. And you can support the show at patreon.com/Negin Farsad. And otherwise, we'll be back in your earballs next week.